Well, for many folks, the arrival of the COVID vaccine raises hopes of finally being able to plan that spring or summer vacation.
Oh, fingers crossed. But is it safe to travel? And what does the picture look like heading into the new year? CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is back with us. Hi, Peter.
Good
Happy
to see you
holidays.
Hi, Mark and Susan. Nice to see you.
Great to see you. So let's start there. Is it safe to travel right now?
Well, the CDC is recommending against it, and while there'll be 34 million fewer Americans traveling over the holiday period that starts tomorrow through the end of the year, that still means about more than 80 million of us are going to be traveling. The real question is, where are we going? And then how are we going? Right now, what we saw at Thanksgiving was that the people who did the traveling were not going to see grandma. They were not going to people who might be the most vulnerable people in the community. They were just traveling to go anywhere. There was such a pent-up demand to get out. That's what they were doing. But the answer to your question is, unless you can practice really responsible behavior and all the people around you are doing the same, probably not a good idea to travel right now. Let's wait a couple of weeks. Let's get the vaccine implemented. And let's then make some smart decisions about what our future travel is going to be like in 2021.
Where could you go right now?
Well, where could you go? There are about 63 countries that are open to Americans right now, where they're either not requiring a quarantine or the quarantine is minimal. And that number changes every day. As we just saw in the United Kingdom, it was open, then it's shut. France, open, then shut. Germany, open, then shut. Many countries in the Caribbean are open to Americans. Mexico is open to Americans. Croatia, Turkey, and it's a pretty long list.
Are we allowed to travel to Canada?
No, there's nothing in the American rule that says we can't go to Canada. It's a Canadian rule. And right now, they're not happy to see us.
So do you think once we get 70, 80% of the population vaccinated, things might get back to somewhat normal?
It will, but I have to qualify that by saying this. That doesn't mean we're not going to be wearing masks. It doesn't mean we're not going to be tested. It's all going to be part of a longer holistic approach. So what you're going to see is before the cruise ships start sailing again, they're going to basically say what a number of airlines have already said. You cannot board the ship unless you can prove you've been vaccinated. And we're going to end up with a vaccination passport, if you will, maybe a biometric passport that will have all that information in there. And we'll be able to use that as we see how this plays out at bars and restaurants, at theme parks, at the grocery store, at movie theaters, cruise ships, airplanes and airports, etc.
Can you make a reservation right now for a cruise? Are they taking bookings? And what does the forecast look like for the cruise lines in the new year?
Well, they've taken a lot of bookings. In fact, from their repeat cruisers, the loyal people who have done cruising before, most of the cruise lines are not going to sail until April or May, but those ships are selling out because of the repeat cruisers. The people who are the first-time cruisers, not so much. There's a confidence level there, a comfort level, a liability level. People are not ready to do that yet. That's why you're going to see the cruise lines requiring you to be vaccinated before you can actually get on the ship.
And take a test or not? Or if you're vaccinated, you don't need a test?
Oh, no, you'll be taking a test as well. I mean, we're going to see the rapid response testing come into play, where you can be biometrically tested in less than 45 seconds to know whether you're positive or negative, and they can do that at every touch point of your trip. And we'll get used to that, like we take our shoes off at airport security checkpoints. That's going to come as well. Nothing's going to happen in isolation. You're going to have to be tested. You're going to have to be tested probably multiple times during your journey, and proof of vaccination before you can even start your journey.
The new normal.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, hopefully, safe travels in 2021. Peter, great to see you again. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Happier New Year.
Happier New Year,
Thank
indeed.
you, Peter. Hope your travels bring you to Madison soon.
Oh, any chance I can get, you know that. I'll be back.
All right. We'll see you then.